All right, welcome back to the next installment of the reharm session on the improv series. So this is going to get made a little more tedious for some of y'all who are new to this. So just go slow and get what you can, and over time it's going to make more sense. Sometimes, it's okay to not understand what's going on. If you can play it really well and then you learn to play it in a bunch of different keys, and you're flying blind a little bit as far as understanding it, sometimes it just kind of clicks in, and I think that's totally fine. So just it's not a bad thing to be able to play it really well first and then kind of understand it sometimes way later. But just don't get hard on yourself and be wondering why you're not getting some things if this is new to you. So let's jump in. We did this last time. So we're that far. Now the regular piece goes 4, 1, 5 to 1. Okay, so after this, get to the 4, to the 1, right here, what chord is 5 above the 5? And that would be a 2. And then the 5. So see how we just tagged that one little extra chord at the end to give us some more motion going into the 1 chord. So, and then chord. So we're basically giving each note of the melody its own chord. And we did that by circle of fifths again. We knew we were going to the 5. And we just asked ourselves, what's 5 above the 5? And in this case, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. So it's this 2 chord. And we're going to say all white keys this time because we're going to C. So all the notes in this chord are in C major. Okay, so that gets us into the 1 chord. Now, what if we want to add another chord before that? Right here, there's that one note that doesn't have a chord. So we could just ask again, our next chord is the 2 that we just added. What's 5 above the 2? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the 6th chord. So 4 to 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. All right, so one more time. 4, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. All right, we might as well just go crazy with this. So what's 5 above the 6? 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. So now we go to the 3 chord instead of the 1. So we go 4, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. And this is a common progression, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, because it's just the circle of fifths. 3 down 5 to 6, 6 down 5 to 2, 2 down 5 to 5, 5 down 5 to 1. It's all fifths. So 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, and we just came right off the 4. And some people might ask, well, how did you know that was going to work? Well, I didn't necessarily. Sometimes you have to just try it, and usually the ultimate indicator is, well, always the ultimate indicator is how well does it work with the melody. If the melody clashes with a note, with a chord you tried to add, then you probably should try something different with the chord, because we don't want to change all the melodies around. The job is to keep the melody intact and harmonize around it. So 3, 6, 2, 5. Now, last video we talked about sometimes you can play with the chord quality meaning major or minor. So let's take a look at that. Let's turn all of these into major chords. So 4, instead of 3, which is a minor, we're going to change it to a dominant. The 6 we're going to change to a dominant, to a 2 dominant, to a 5 dominant. So let's listen to that in time. So that gives it a very distinct flavor, a very chromatic feel, because there's a chromatic line moving down. But what you find is a lot of times when you get to these harmonizations that people will mix and match like the quality of the chords. Some of the chords will be within the key of C, and some they'll change into a major, which will step out of the key very temporarily. So an example of that would be 3 is all diatonic in the key of C, but the 6, they go to major, so it's just a regular dominant chord. Then the 2 back to minor, the 5's dominant as usual, and then 1. So that 1/6 chord, we just stepped outside of the key of C temporarily. And really what we did was we just we made it the 5, purely a 5 chord of the 2, of the D chord. So that's why there's a C sharp in there. So just changing one chord like that gives it a cool flavor. And you could even you could do something like this. Also added the flat 9, so that's an A7 flat 9 for the 6th chord, and you can play with that stuff and just see what you think. Usually your alterations, we call a flat 9 an alteration, flat 9, sharp 11, flat 5, flat 13, sharp 5, those are all alterations. Those are things you usually will add to a dominant chord to give it a little more flavor. So you can try them all. If it ever clashes with the melody, you probably should maybe not try it, or try it once and realize it doesn't work, or you know, you can just use your ear beyond that. If it doesn't clash with the melody, but it still doesn't sound right to you, then just don't do it and go to the really basic version of the chord. So if you don't like a sharp 9 there, then you just leave it out. So putting this video together with the last video gives this. It's pretty cool. And then you can do that in all the keys to kind of get your bearings. And what you'll find is if you just start transposing this and doing just this little part of this song in a bunch of different keys, when you sit down to play something, your hands will just start going there over time, going to the right spot, or like throwing in these chords without you having to think through it. The first bit of time you're going to think probably quite a bit, or rely on your ears if you're an ear player, to kind of work through this by ear slowly. Either way, it takes a while at the beginning, but then it just gets faster and faster, and eventually you just start grabbing the stuff. All right, well, that's a pretty in-depth reharm session on Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So give it a try with the last video and then this video. And then for bonus, if you're feeling pretty good about it, try and do some of the improv stuff we talked about in the other videos along with this stuff and see how it goes. All right, good luck. Thanks for watching. And go ahead and subscribe or like on Facebook. Sign up for the blog. I've got more of these coming, and hopefully you enjoy them, and you can follow along as we progress. Thanks.